Don't settle. You can get the vehicle that you want even if you're on a budget. Today we're going to give you tips and strategies how to research and find and locate the vehicle that you want to buy and drive. Stick around. We'll be right back with that information. Welcome back. Buying a vehicle. It's your second biggest purchase in your life, and spend some time finding the vehicle that you want, because there are heaps of vehicles on the market. Don't settle for something that, just because it was available in your price range. Friends don't let friends drive beige on beige vehicles, okay? I can't say it any clearer than that. Remember, vehicles are like clothes. They need to fit you. If it doesn't fit you, it's not going to be comfortable. So the first thing you need to do is you need to kind of narrow down to about 3 vehicles that you want to purchase. So for example, if you're looking at the Honda Civic, the Corolla, and the Volkswagen Golf, they're all about the same mid-size, small cars that you can purchase, on a budget sort of thing. So narrow it down to that, and then figure out what features you want. Is safety rating important to you? Is engine size and speed important to you? Because then you might want to be looking at a turbocharger. Do you want a manual transmission? Do you want an automatic transmission? What color do you want the car? What color do you want the interior? Do you want leather seats and all kinds of creature comforts, or can you do with a base model? Do you need navigation and a fancy stereo system? So write down on a piece of paper, first and foremost, what you're looking for before you head over to the computer. And that way, when you go to the computer, you already have in mind what you're looking at, what you can research, and we'll go over to the computer. We'll show you how to do the research here. But first, make that list of, narrow it down to 3 types of cars that you want: reliability, maintenance, fuel mileage, all of these different factors that play into your decision to buy a car. But as I said, unless you get some cheap vehicle, that's a super excellent deal that you can't pass up, spend the time, do the research, and get the vehicle that you want. Let's head over to the computer. This video is made possible by the course package, Pass Your Driver's Test First Time, because we know that your driver's test is the most stressful day of your life. And without some form of driver training, your chances of passing are less than 50%. As a bonus, we'll include both the defensive and winter driving smart courses. These will make you a safer, smarter driver and reduce your chances of being involved in an accident. Click down in the description there and get full details. The website that I like to use to do research when I'm looking for a new vehicle is autotrader.com. It also works in Canada, autotrader.ca. And you simply go in here and say, for example, that we were going to be looking for a Honda Civic. So we would just go in here to H Honda, and then the model is the Civic. So we're looking for a Civic, and we put in our postal code here, 52204, which is Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And then you just hit search, and you will come up with a list of the vehicles that you want. Now there's a whole bunch of filters here on the side. So search radius is 50 miles, and you can change that. Any distance, 500 miles. And if you're outside of an urban area, a large urban center, you're probably going to have to travel farther to find a vehicle. For me personally, I live in the interior of British Columbia, Canada, and I would be willing to travel 4 hours to Vancouver. I'm going to have many more options in terms of the vehicle that I'm looking for. So you can put in here new, you can check that box, used, 122 manufactured certified, so you can get some certified vehicles. So as a first driver, you're probably going to be looking for a second-hand vehicle, and then we can come down here and we can put in the minimum price. So say, for example, that we're $5,000 to $10,000, and that goes here as well. Hit return, and you can see it's added the filter here. And we can just go down through here. We can see that there's 2 with manual transmission. So if that's something you were considering, you wanted an automatic transmission or you wanted a manual transmission, what color you wanted, whether it has a sunroof, front wheel drive, 4-cylinder gray. Now, you have to figure out, as we said previously, don't settle. What do you want? What color do you want? What features do you want? What can you afford? When you're on the internet and you're looking You're educating yourself. You're not necessarily looking for a vehicle. You're not necessarily going to find the vehicle that you're looking for here. You're simply educating yourself. You've already made the decision. I want a white Honda Civic or a white Toyota Corolla with an automatic transmission with a 4-cylinder engine with less than 60,000 miles on it. And my price range is kind of $8,000 to $10,000. You've already made that decision in your head because we're not going to settle. So we're going to see, living in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, whether we can have that or not. So they've got a hot car here for less than $10,000. It's got 100,000 miles on it, 26 miles to the gallon city, 34 miles to the gallon highway, 2-wheel drive, 4-cylinder, and whether it's an automatic or not. Okay, there's no image available on this one. It's $8,000, a 2012, 130,000. So between $5,000 and $10,000, are you going to be able to get the car that you want? And if you're looking for less than 60,000 miles, it's not likely. Okay, this one's got 90,000, 120, 90, 140 here, and we go down through the list here. This one's got 140, 107. So if you're looking for something less than 60,000 miles on it, it's unlikely that you're going to find it in that price range. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so 2008. So this one's a little bit older, $8,000, and it's got 66,000. So this potentially could be the vehicle that you're looking for, except it's a coupe, which means it's a 2-door. Coupe is 2-door and a sedan is 4-door. So if you want a coupe, and I mean this may work well if you're a new driver and it's your first vehicle, then great. So you can figure out that yes, for less than $10,000, maybe a little bit older, but I can get a vehicle that has less than, around the 60,000 mile mark on it here. And then you want to see whether it has crashes. It has a 1.8 cylinder, 2-wheel, 5-speed automatic transmission. We can see down at the bottom here the Carfax, so you can get a Carfax. It has 1 owner and it has no accidents, so damage report. So this very much might be a vehicle that you would be willing to travel from Cedar Rapids to downtown Chicago. You may want to call the dealership, see if you need to put a down payment on it for them to hold it for you. You might want to ask them to do a video for you, so where they can walk around, show you under the hood, those types of things, send you any information that they can send you for this. So this is something else that you might consider is driving to Chicago to pick up the vehicle that you want, because this looks like a pretty good car for $8,000. It's a 2008 as well. All the safety features, ABS brakes, dual front airbags, if this is a concern for you as well, safety features and those types of things. Because this is something else you want to determine is, are you willing to put up with a rebuild? But know that that happens as well. The car's been in a crash, the front fender's been dinged or whatnot, and the insurance company's written it off, and then an auto body shop has bought the vehicle, and then they've rebuilt it, fixed it up, and that's another possibility. So now you've determined that for less than $10,000, you can get your vehicle with the specifications that you wanted and the specific color. And then of course you can click on the pictures here, and if it's a dealer, there's going to be a lot of pictures, probably somewhere between 15 and 20 pictures. If it's a private seller, not so much. In terms of what you're looking for. And then, you can play around with the price a little bit. You can change your parameters here, and then you can see $12,000. We can put that in. That will change a little bit. And you can see whether you can get a slightly better vehicle at the 60,000 mile mark for what you're looking for. And as well, don't be completely stuck on a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. You might also consider a Volkswagen Golf. These are all similar vehicles, subcompacts. And, if you just look for a different vehicle, so for example, if we go back here and change to a Volkswagen Golf, 50 miles, the same in here, used. So there's only 12 of them here, so we can see how much they are. So 63,000, 15,000, and it looks like the Volkswagen Golf is going to be considerably more expensive. So this may not be an option, but it could be something that you could consider and look at. But you're probably going to get a Civic or a Corolla at the price that you're looking for, and the amount of miles that you want on the age. Warranty is going to be another consideration, as well as safety features. If that's a consideration, then have a look at this website. and I'll put the link down in the description for you. And you have a look at that, and it'll tell you what the safety features are, and you can check that out as well if that's a consideration when you're buying a vehicle. So take your time, get the vehicle that you want, don't settle. And for new drivers who are purchasing a vehicle, know that if you take a vehicle out with financing, your insurance is going to be a lot more expensive because you have to have collision on it to cover the financing in the event that something goes wrong or you write the vehicle off or you have a crash. Whereas if you can afford to buy the vehicle outright, your insurance is going to be a lot less, because as soon as you have to put collision on a vehicle, it's twice as much money for your insurance per year than it is if you can buy the vehicle outright and then own it, and then you don't have to put collision on it. You just put property damage and public liability on it for insurance coverage for the purposes of driving your car. So good luck in your search, and remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now.